Breaking news, Vermont State Police are answering questions tonight in Royalton about this suspicious death in Brookfield. We know one man is dead, another appears to be injured. Both were reportedly shot. Let's listen in right now to State Police Major Dan Trudeau.
My dad. Can I just have you describe what happened and describe the scene?
Yeah, earlier this afternoon, about 5:45 p.m., we received a 911 call in the area of Brookfield on Route 14 near the 65 intersection. Caller reported a vehicle that was operating erratically down the road, and what later happened was the vehicle came to a stop and there was a husband-wife combination. I'm not sure if they're married, but there was a couple that stopped by, offered assistance to a man who was in the truck and wounded. Apparent gunshot wound was what it was initially described as. The couple that stopped and saw the truck pulled over on the side of the road, the male subject of that group actually drove the wounded victim to the hospital in Randolph, to Gifford Hospital. And the victim was later transported to Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center. Around the same time that all this is going on, we receive another law enforcement call from a woman in Brookfield off of Route 14 who reported an unresponsive male on the ground in her driveway. So troopers responded to that area, located the deceased male. And at this time, we're questioning a few people. We have a couple people detained here, just asking them some questions, residents of that house on Route 14. We still have a number of people that want to track down that may have some information to offer us, as well as interviewing, friends or family of the deceased victim and the wounded victim. The wounded victim is still not in a condition where we can interview him. The only remark that he had made at the initial scene was that there was another victim that had been shot, but he wasn't able to really describe the location. So about the time that he was giving us that information is when the second call came in at the address in Brookfield off of Route 14. So right now, obviously, we're here at the barracks. A number of the detectives from the Major Crime Unit, our Victim Services Unit, our Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and field force troopers are all here, kind of working on this. The state's attorney is going to be stopping by in a little bit. The residence at 8769 on Route 14 has been seized, and we'll be applying for a search warrant to search that house thoroughly, which is pretty standard in a case like these. So that's where we're at, I would say, and hope that anybody who has information that'll be helpful to the case, to please contact the state police here in Royalton. That would be very helpful. At this time, no notifications have really been made, so we're going to withhold all the names now until we get to a point that we can release that information.
Okay. Was it a dispute between the two victims, or was there another person involved? Were they shot by?
No, at this time, the deceased victim and the wounded victim, from our understanding, are associates, friends of each other's. So that's about all as we have, and I know it seems like a confusing story, and it actually is a confusing story, and we're still trying to piece it together to figure out actually what happened at the residence in Route 14. That's where we believe the shooting occurred. We don't have the search warrant yet, so once we do have that in hand, that probably won't be till the morning. We'll have the crime scene search team come once we have some daylight, and we'll conduct the search then. But to go back to your question, we don't really know what happened at this rate.
Do you know how many people were at the house when this happened? No. Is there any threat to the public?
No, we believe this to be an isolated incident related to that residence. Both the deceased victim and the wounded victim, from what we have ascertained so far tonight, are both from Massachusetts. and I'm not sure how long they've been in Vermont. And then other people that we've spoken to are Vermonters. So, but again, we still haven't figured out the exact number of people who were there or who actually witnessed something.
All right, thank you for the interview.
All right, thank you.
Of the Vermont State Police, we are learning some new information here. It appears the man who was found dead at this home and the wounded man from the car are friends. Both are from Massachusetts. They at some point were at this home together tonight. Major Trudeau does not know how many people were there or at what point these men from Massachusetts came to the state of Vermont. He does believe this to be an isolated incident because you heard our photographer ask if anybody else should be worried here, and he says no, this is isolated between the individuals who know each other and the individuals at this home. A few people are being questioned, but it appears there are a lot more questions than answers at this point, even from Vermont State Police. The crime scene search team hasn't even arrived yet. We understand they will be at the scene tomorrow when we expect to learn more. The state's attorney is still on their way. But at this point, this is believed to be an isolated incident where we have a dead man and then an injured man at Dartmouth Hitchcock at this hour. We will be right back after this.
Buying a Toyota